Hello students, I am Priyanka. I belong to the Department of English SF, Fatima College, Madurai. Today we'll deal with the topic Historical Political Significance and themes in Shyam Selvathurai's novel Funny Boy. So before moving into the topic, we'll briefly deal about the author's biography. Shyam Selvathurai is a Sri Lankan Canadian novelist. He was born on February 12, 1956 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. He migrated to Canada with his family at the age of 19 because of ethnic riots in 1983 in Sri Lanka. He studied creative and professional writing as part of Bachelor of Fine Arts program at York University. His first novel was Funny Boy, which was published in 1994, and this novel became a national bestseller, and this novel won many awards. He wrote Funny Boy as a form of therapy. Okay. Another thing is to inform people about a topic that is kept dark in Sri Lanka. Okay. This man had guts to talk about this topic. Okay. No one had guts to talk about this topic before, but he had the guts. He also wrote other novels such as Cinnamon Gardens, which was published in 1998, and he also wrote Swimming in the Monsoon Sea, which was published in 2005. Next, we'll deal with historical and political significance. The history of Sri Lanka begins around 30,000 years ago. But if we are talking about modern history, then this modern history is mainly defined by its 26-year long and violent civil war that came to an end in only 2009. Okay? The root of this brutal conflict started when the minority Tamil ethnic group wanted a separate homeland, approximately one-third of the island. So in Sri Lanka, there were two groups. Okay? One were minority Tamil group and other were majority Sinhalese group. Okay? These Tamil people, they wanted separate state for themselves. Okay? But Sri Lankan government was opposite. Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. There was a group called Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. This Tamil Eelam, they are the ones whose prolonged military battle left up to 1 lakh dead and exiled several hundreds of thousands. Now what happened? This tarnished the nation's economic growth and caused high environmental issues. Okay? Now when did this civil war started? It started in 1948 after Sri Lanka got its independence from Britain. There were suicide, if we talk about the civil war, there were suicide bombings, assassination of several high-ranking ministers and political figures, both in Sri Lanka and in India, which includes our former Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. This LTT was notorious on recruiting child soldiers. These LTT people, they even recruited child soldiers, okay, establishing their own laws to control territories in Sri Lanka's northeast. These LTT people, they never listened to Sri Lankan government and they followed their own rules. The LTT was also known to be the only terrorist organization in the world to have acquired its own Navy and Air Force fleet. This is a big deal because these people, they had their own Navy and their own Air Force fleets. Okay, in 2009, this battle came to an end because this Tamil Eelam people, they had a head. Okay, and his name is Chief Velupillai Prabhakaran. Okay, he was behind all these violence and this civil war, and he was killed. Okay, in this battle by Sri Lankan government. So after he was killed, this civil war ended. Okay, so the civil war ended in 2009, and this civil war, after months of years fighting, it was not easy. It was a 26-year long civil war, and after even in 2009, after months of fierce fighting, only Sri Lankan government could kill this head. Okay, if we look at the themes in this novel, okay, first thing is ethnic conflict. Okay, this ethnic conflict is a major issue in the novel, as this novel is set in 1970s and in early 80s, 1980s. Okay, because this is the time when this ethnic conflict was at its peak. Okay, there's this character in this novel, R.G. Chelvaratnam. Okay, he's called as R.G. He's the protagonist of the novel, and he's a uh, he's a Tamil guy. Okay, so his family, they are Tamil people, and once in this novel there's an instance. Okay, this RG, he goes to his father and he asks the meaning of the word racist. Okay, so this is the first time he's listening to this word racist. Okay, now how did he learn this word racist? There's another character in the novel, her name is Radha Auntie. Okay, Radha Auntie, her mother is Ammachi. That is RG's grandmother is called as Ammachi in this novel. Okay, so Radha Auntie, when she gets into she gets into trouble, and Ammachi asks her about that, and Radha Auntie, she calls Ammachi as racist. Okay, so this was heard by RG. So now RG comes to his father and he asks about this word. Okay, he asks the meaning of the word. So when his father explains about this word racist, there's this flashback. Okay, how his RG's great grandfather, being a Tamil, was killed by Sinhalese. Okay, so his great grandfather was killed by Sinhalese. Why? Because the reason is he's Tamil. Okay, even later in the novel, get to know this. The RG's grandparents, okay, they were burnt alive. Okay, when they were traveling in car, they were burnt alive by the Sinhalese people because RG's family or RG's grandparents, they are Tamilian. Okay, so this is why this ethnic conflict is a major theme in this novel. So the next theme will be language. Okay, Shyam Selvadurai, he somehow wanted to tell his reader how society can be divided on the basis of linguistic identity. Okay, and how this linguistic identity can lead to ethnic violence. Okay, in this novel, RG, he studies in Sinhalese medium school. Okay, because RG's father, he believes that Tamil had no future in Sri Lanka. Okay, only Sinhala language had a future in Sri Lanka, and he wanted his sons to learn Sinhala language. That is why RG is enrolled in Sinhala medium school. But when RG goes to school, he gets into trouble because he's a Tamil boy and he's in Sinhalese class. Other Sinhalese classmates, they torture him and they tell him that he doesn't belong here. Okay, he should move to Tamil medium school. Okay, so language is a very important theme in this novel. Not only this instance, there are many instances which gives us an insight about the importance of language, okay, and how it leads to ethnic violence. The next theme will be marriage. Okay, so in this novel, I already talked about this character Radha Auntie, right? Okay, the Radha Auntie, she falls in love with a Sinhalese man. Okay, this Ammachi, okay, Radha Auntie's mother, she's totally against it. Okay, she says that no, a Tamil woman and a Sinhalese man, they can never be together. They don't have any future. Okay, so she is restricted. Radha Auntie is totally restricted, and she marries another Tamil guy in the novel. Uh, now RG learns that because he has this great idea about marriage. Okay, he thinks that people who love they get to marry each other. But when he learns about Radha Auntie's story, he just forgets all these fantasies about marriage. Okay, and now he learns the truth. So if you read the novel, these three themes are very important themes in the novel, and this character RG, he grows up in this novel. Okay, how first he was very innocent and how he grows day by day, seeing his family and seeing the society. Okay, so this is pretty much about novel.